Yo, yo, what up? I'm back. I'm making some tomato sauce for y'all tonight, and I'm repping my Terps. We got the Maryland women's basketball team on. What's today's date? I don't know. It's Tuesday, March 27th or something like that. But, yeah, the women's team's playing tonight for a spot in the Final Four, so got my Terps hat on. Gonna be cheering for them a little bit later on, but I have to make dinner first. So I thought what I put together for y'all is just a simple red sauce. And the idea is that I love making Italian food. I've mentioned that. But I also make a really mean lasagna. So I'm going to basically make videos of each of the portions of the lasagna so it's a little bit quicker when we get to the actual thing. So I like to make my own ricotta, which makes it a lot better. I like to make my own sauce. And another reason to make your own sauce, again, a lot more affordable. So I'll show you really quickly. I'm using all dried spices in this. So these are all my ingredients right here. I have 2 cans of tomatoes. They're 28 ounce. Doesn't matter however much you want to make. Just use the appropriate amounts. But I have 1 diced, 1 whole peeled. It really doesn't matter if you have crushed, pureed, whatever you have on hand, just use it. I have a little bit of balsamic vinegar, which is going to add some sweetness to our sauce. I mean, we'll use maybe a tablespoon. It doesn't take a lot at all. I have some olive oil, which I've started here in the pan. Dried oregano, dried basil, garlic powder. So basically I'm making the most simple sauce you could possibly make here, with all things that hopefully everyone has lying around the house. So canned tomatoes, all dried spices. So there's my diced tomatoes. Throwing in the whole tomatoes here. Hopefully the top doesn't go with it. So we're going to have obviously a chunky sauce at this point. Over here I have my immersion blender. So do a little Price is Right style here for those fans out there. An immersion blender is basically something that you can puree soups, sauces, you know, salsas. You can make smoothies, really anything that you will put into a blender. This is something so when you have something hot in a pot on the stove, you can just put your immersion blender right in there and puree it to the smoothness that you like. So that's what's really nice about that. My phone really doesn't ring that much, but every time I'm making a video I feel like it rings. So I'm going to throw in, this is the oregano. You know, what do we have there? A tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. Again, it's gonna, your proportions are gonna vary depending on how much tomato you're using. Basil leaves, maybe 1 tablespoon of basil leaves. We're gonna throw our garlic powder in there. Hard to open these jars with one hand. Gotta get creative. So garlic powder, obviously you can use fresh garlic. You could throw an onion in here. I just don't have one right now. I have some fresh garlic, but I figured I'm going to make something that probably everyone has on hand in that sense. So we have all those things. I'm going to throw some of my blended salt and pepper in here. Again, that's 2 parts salt and 1 part pepper. And we'll throw a little bit of that in there right now. And I'm going to give it a stir. And then we'll come back and taste it. Ooh. Just getting the spoon. Alright, so I'm going to give this a stir. I'm going to become really talented, ambidextrously something. If that's a word. It is now. Alright, so just have these things going together. And this sauce can take as little or as long as you want. So I'm going to, for the sake of not torturing you guys with such a long video, I'm going to puree it up right now with my immersion blender so we can give it a taste, adjust the seasoning, and then you can let it cook on the stove as long as you want. I have this pot of boiling water back here because I'm going to make some pasta later on to throw this on. So it's going to be loud for a second, so I'll shut my trap. So just to give you an idea quick, you kind of want to use an up and down motion, but you have to be careful because as soon as you lift it too high out of the sauce, it can start splattering. So just give it a mix sometimes in there, just to get those whole tomatoes at the bottom, and then off we go again. What I'm talking about. Alright, we'll give that a rest for a second. Just throw this. You can actually detach. Let me see if I can do this. This is not going to happen. Oh, it might. So you can detach this, the blending part. Now I've lost it. Sorry. Oh dear. Oh, okay. So I've detached the blending part so I can just throw that over here so I don't make too much of a mess. Alright, so here's what I have. My sauce blended together. It's pretty pureed. There might be a couple chunks left in there, but I can take care of those in a little while. I'm going to give it a taste. So I'm going to get a clean spoon from over here. Give this a taste real quick. Woo. Alright, the seasoning's pretty good on it. Now, the reason we're going to throw in some of this balsamic vinegar, like I said, is for sweetness. A lot of times you'll see recipes with for tomato sauces call for a little bit of sugar. Sugar's fine too. I just like to keep it in the Italian family, throw some of the balsamic vinegar in there. It's just going to cut the acidity of the tomatoes. But you know, brown sugar, white sugar, you could try a little honey, but I don't know if I would do that. Or if you have some balsamic vinegar lying around, you could certainly try that. That's sort of what I prefer to do. Alright, so we're going to grab another clean spoon here. And that's what this is all about. Remember, taste and season as you go. Alright, yeah, adding that just touch of sweetness just brings the whole thing together. Alright, so that's basically it. Simple tomato sauce. Bring you back to my pretty face. Simple tomato sauce, you know, throw it on pasta, throw it on a pizza. I like to make little sort of French bread pizzas with whatever kind of bread I have lying around. And I'll put together a ricotta video, and then we'll make a lasagna at some point. Alright, enjoy. Go Terps. Peace out.